I just believe that they've been going so hard. They're gonna probably that game. Chicago gonna probably enter that game with a motivation that they're probably not going to be able to.
Extremely motivated.
Yeah, with a motivation that they're probably going to not be able to meet just because we've already been killing everybody for this.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Chicago because I think they're in Chicago.
Yeah.
The intimidation factor they're going to try to put on Caitlin. You already know that.
Yeah.
The crowd, the Angel Reese, all of them. Plus, she's balling right now. Angel Reese is doing good. She set a record on the double-doubles.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to roll like that. I'm going to go LSU.
I also think this guy will be a more disciplined team than they were in that last matchup. I think the coach is very set. She's talked about, hey, we're going to go, and there's not going to be that extracurricular stuff. I think the ratings thing is so interesting, though, Skip, and the ticket prices. Angel Reese came out a month ago or whenever it was and said, it's not just Caitlin Clark. It's other people, too. It's me, too.
Yeah.
And her point was, you can't have a rivalry without the villain. That's the word she used.
I'm going with Caitlin on Sunday because I think her team is playing a little better. But that is it for today's Undisputed.
Skip, Key, where y'all at? I got y'all duck boat seats, man. Where y'all at?
That's our man, Paul Pierce, moments ago at the TD Garden. And there's our duck boat. He and I opted to just stay here in warm, sunny L.A. Right?
I didn't even realize Paul was still playing for the Celtics, but
I guess he is.
yes, he is.
Yeah.
You like to see the alumni at games. Come on. It's fun.
No, that's not a game. As I text Paul, I said, Paul, man, why are you in Boston?
No. When I tell you all the time, when I heard the Knicks alumni was at the watch party.
They were.
It was at that's dedication.
big, right?
That's dedication right there.
No duck boat for me. Not today. All right. Word from LeBron's camp, reported by numerous outlets, is that he had no involvement in the hiring of J.J. Redick. The Athletic reports that the Lakers prioritized Anthony Davis's input into hiring a new coach. So, Wayne, do you believe LeBron had nothing to do with the hiring of J.J. and that Anthony Davis had a whole lot to do with it?
I believe that LeBron, I don't believe that he had nothing to do with it. I also believe that Anthony Davis had a lot to do with it, but, you know, I don't believe that I believe what they're saying is true, meaning there was no such thing as him calling, hey, this is who we're going with. I believe that the most he had to do with it was what's already done, meaning I do have a podcast with the guy. You do know that I have a great relationship with the guy. I don't have to tell you that. The world knows that. And I believe that's what he already had. That's his involvement, and that's enough.
And he knew that was enough, like we've talked about, passive-aggressive sort of signing off on it.
The Don.
The
Don just give you a nod.
Okay, and give you a nod. Yeah,
that's it. It's not.
The Don gave you a nod.
It's just a nod. It's like, I kind of like JJ. He's a nice guy. We do a podcast together, and then you figure out what to do with that. You figure it out. I don't need to tell you.
The kid comes in there, he delivers the newspapers every day. Then one day, the Don just tell you, he tell him to do an extra thing that next day. That's when you sitting at the table, oh my God, he about to be the next Don.
Yeah, that is correct. Okay.
There's a lot of ways to be involved in a coaching hire. I absolutely buy that he did not call the front office because he didn't need to your point. He didn't need to do it, and also, to your point, Key, earlier, he doesn't want to be accused of general managing this team. But there's lots of ways to be involved. And we know that he started texting Dan Hurley when Dan Hurley became a candidate, and that they had no previous texting relationship, and they were talking about plays. They were talking about, according to Dan, they were talking about how he would run the team. They were talking about things they could run on the court. So you're going to tell me with J.J. Redick, who he clearly has a texting and podcast and friend relationship with, they didn't have some of those same discussions? Of course they did. I mean, I wasn't in the room, but I would be laid down shocked if they didn't. That is some of the ways he has been involved.
I believe that when it came to Dan Hurley, those situations that were needed, that he felt that they were needed. Like, I need to hit this because I don't know this guy.
So, no, see, I get okay. I'm not LeBron James, but I know stretch of imagination as a player. But in NFL, we got position coaches for each position. I'm in charge of my receiver position coach, and I have relationships with the offensive coordinator. None of my coaches is gonna hire those guys without coming to me and saying what you think about
working with. Did you just say you're in charge of your receivers coach?
You damn right I was in charge.
You're in charge of it?
Damn, because they expected.
I bet he didn't think that.
Well, you don't know my receiver coaches. They expected for me to fall in line with it, Skip. Right? Okay. So if I interviewed you And I not interviewed, but had a conversation with him. Man, I'm not feeling Skip like that.
Yeah,
Guess what they gonna say? They gonna say why? Then I'm gonna tell them they gonna move on to Rachel. That's just because I'm there.
I believe
that's
they
what
would even
happens.
tell him that. I believe they would even verbally tell
That's what
him
they.
that.
That's
Like,
what they gonna do.
Keyshawn, this is you. This is you. We
You
need
just
this to be you.
expressed extreme involvement in the hiring process.
But he has.
Okay.
He has in the past been involved in hiring processes. Rachel just mentioned. If you was listening to Rachel, which you're right next to her, you were.
Trust me.
Dan Hurley and him had text exchanges.
Yeah.
How you think LeBron got the number? He just all of a sudden Googled it? No.
I don't know who initiated.
It doesn't matter who
No,
initiated.
Dan Hurley was very clear. He said, I looked at my phone and
There you go.
LeBron James is
So
texting
somebody,
me, and I was blown away.
Check this
didn't
out,
like
though.
that.
Check this out, though. Somebody gave LeBron the number. Whether he asked for it or they said, here you go, we need you to do this.
Okay.
Shortly after that, they gave him an offer at $70 million. If LeBron James gotten in that text exchange or that phone conversation and said, I'm not rocking with this dude, you think he'd have got a $70 million deal? No, absolutely not. So LeBron said, I like the conversation. And they was like, okay, cool. And then they said, write up the offer.
Yeah, he'd already blessed him in a tweet right after they won their second
Yes.
championship.
And by the way,
so,
he did, even if he didn't like him after those texts, he wouldn't have to go call Rob Pelinka. He would talk to Rich Paul, who he talks to all the time about
Yes,
everything.
absolutely.
He's
That's how it goes,
one
Skip.
of his best friends. So, of course, he would say, I don't know about this guy.
Exactly.
That's all he'd have to do,
That's
and
it.
Rich would do the rest.
Do the rest.
Or better yet, I'm getting ready to go to France and hang out on my yacht. And then they'll know, based on that, that is a bad move.
Okay. It's LeBron bleeping James. It's the Don. Why wouldn't he have heavy input into this?
Because he doesn't have to have
why would he
heavy
be
input.
so defensive about, leave me out of it, I want plausible deniability,
Because of
just
people
embrace
because
it.
of people like you, Skip.
Well, who cares? Why would he care
Because
what I say?
that's the way. Because you will like the match, and then all of a sudden it becomes a wildfire, and he doesn't want that in his
Also,
career. He doesn't want it.
It's just humility.
You would
It's
want
just
it in your
humility.
career.
But I'm
As a
different than
team,
him.
okay, Skip, it's also humility. There's also 4 other players that gotta
Yes.
take the court with
Yeah.
it. Who I don't
Right, you
even
just
if
put
even if
humility and LeBron in the same.
man, listen, if it was me, Skip, I wouldn't want my team just sitting there thinking, yeah, you know, nothing move unless Wayne said, no, I don't want that, man.
That's true, though.
You don't want. You really don't want
You
it,
don't want that.
even though they know that it's there. Even though the players know, the only reason why we got JJ is because LeBron won.
What's understood ain't got to be explained.
Okay, but you already said he's going to get blamed anyway, one way
That's
or credited, whichever
Exactly.
way.
So let me at least get one of y'all blame notches off of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he doing.
What should he care?
But that's just.
He's not the Teflon Don, then? Is that
No,
right?
I mean, we've seen throughout. He clearly cares.
He's the
I mean,
LeBron Don.
that is
LeBron
inarguable over
Yeah.
his career.
Yeah.
He cares.
And they gonna come to you when they value you. They gonna come to you when they hire coaches, man. That's just because that guy's got to work with you. If they just hire somebody and JJ all of a sudden and LeBron doesn't have a relationship and they go out and they just hire Dan Hurley or JJ, whoever, without talking to LeBron,
I agree. You have to.
they have.
First conversation.
They have.
And I think that I think what we now understand is that same conversation that conversation you talking about that we all agreeing they most likely had, they probably had it. They should have had it with more than LeBron. So I think when they answer the question about is LeBron involved, they subtract that part, and they're still able to answer the question is no, he wasn't involved, because you guys are probably meaning was he involved? Really involved. He was involved enough that's the same the rest of the players were.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Your reaction to the reports that Anthony Davis was the priority to get involved?
Next question.
No, man, don't do
Bingo.
AD.
I'm joking
Don't
right
do
now,
AD
man.
like that.
I think that was real. This is
Okay.
his team, Skip. And also,
Is it?
Yes, because also I believe what Rachel said. I don't believe he's reached his peak.
Okay.
Anthony Davis was involved by way of Rich Paul and LeBron James.
I wanted to say that too when you kept saying that. I was like,
That's what it
you
was.
keep saying AD, that equals LeBron.
It does.
It's
No, it
LeBron
does.
and Rich Paul. It's fine. We're making it seem like there's like some bad with this. It's okay. He's the star of the team. The other guy's the second star of the team. And Rich Paul is involved.
Look,
and it's okay.
This coaching search has not been clean. Even you have to admit that. It has been messy. There's been some mess
They
here.
called me twice.
The smartest thing they have done in a messing, almost 2-month-long coaching search is prioritize Anthony Davis.
Yes.
That is 100% what needs to happen. And if they hadn't done that, I would be questioning that front office more.
The Celtics are having a parade.
Ain't nobody
They're
worried about
having
that
a
right
parade,
now.
and they've
man.
got one more
You have to
championship than
actually
you do.
mention
Ain't nobody worried
That's
about
how
that
much
right now.
people done forgot about
We'll
it.
be
Right
okay.
now.
We'll be
got
okay.
no
They
duck
can't even
boats.
figure out who their leader is.
Yeah.
We'll be all right.
All right. Up next, Caitlin versus